Woodward Sports Network, let's go!
Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Thank you, man.
All digital sports network. What?
Thank you.
For what?
Welcoming me.
Oh, well, I didn't even. Man, you're welcome.
Thanks.
You're welcome for being welcome.
Welcome you to the Morning Woodward Show, Stick.
It is Tuesday. Michigan is playing tonight against UCLA. Deshaun Watson had some more things pop up in the media about him. And a whole bunch of other stuff going on that we're going to talk about today. Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes talking to the media. But first, let me introduce you to the crew. To my right, Mr. Corey Woods.
What up, dude?
And that E in his name is his middle initial. So, like,
Man, that gets fumbled so many times.
It does, man.
Be honest, Corey. Have you thought about just switching that now? Because how many people think Corey spelled with E?
Oh, hell no, my mama whooped my ass.
Really?
If you drop the E?
Yeah,
If you were just Corey Woods with no E?
Oh, yeah. She's that's the one thing that she does not play about is my name.
All right.
Is there some meaning? What's your middle name? Is it Emmanuel or what is it?
Man. No, it's Evan.
Evan? I would have liked Emmanuel. What's up, Fish?
Are there Corys with an E? Is that a thing?
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, it's a Corey with an E, I. Some people spell it Khori. Hate that spelling of it.
Cool. What?
Yeah, you can spell it however you want.
Yeah.
And to my left, it's Joey with an E.
Joey with yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Joey. And then, of course, we have Alex over there making sure everything sounds and looks good, and Fish doing his thing, and Adam's here. So, I mean, guys, let's get into it. The Final Four, half of it's been established. Last night, we had a couple of games. I don't know if you guys stayed up and watched the late game, but the early game I thought was fantastic. I mean, Houston went out to a 17-point lead early. Then they went to halftime, and Oregon State actually made it a ball game.
I mean, if you looked at the game, it made no sense that Oregon State came back. If you looked at the box score, it made no sense that Houston won.
Right.
Because they shot horribly.
Horrible. Like, you look at the stat sheet on this one, what was the guy, Maurice Kalu or something off the bench? If it wasn't for him, that team, like, none of their players came to play. And it's like, you would think that that would be a team that would come out to just ball out. And then you hear all the stats about Houston playing all double-seeded teams throughout this entire March Madness.
Clear path to the Final Four.
Clear path.
Well, one major point of last night, if you were betting on this game, it was a 7.5 or 8-point spread. And at the very end, when I mean, this broke your heart. Look you're up 9.
Oh!
No more. All of a sudden, all your money's gone on that last shot. And there's no reason to take that shot. No reason to take that shot. You're down 9, 6 seconds left. You're not going to win the game.
Listen, hey, you know what? That's when, you got to find that guy and y'all got to shoot the fair one.
Yeah.
We got to shoot the fair one. You have to my money.
Listen, that guy probably is a senior. Wanted that last bucket because he had a shitty day, and he was like, at least I ended my career at Oregon State with the bucket.
He pissed off a ton of people doing that, man. And on top of that, because I took the spread 7.5, so that shot cost me. But on top of that, Houston missed so many free throws down the stretch to like extend the lead of the game. They very easily could have won this game by double digits, no problem. But a bunch of missed free throws down the stretch, and then you see stuff like that, and all of a sudden, your spread, bye-bye.
And what's crazy is that they shot from free throw. They shot by 11% better than Oregon State, which is wild. So just, I don't know.
Free throws are a problem this year in the NCAA.
I again got to go back to what I said yesterday with Steven Jackson. He's like, make your damn free throws. Like, it's I just don't understand him. I mean, who knows? Maybe when you're a pro athlete, there's so much that goes on to the game where you just, I don't know, can't make a free throw, but I don't get it. It's a free throw. How are you getting paid millions? Well, kids, they're not getting paid millions, but just in general, you're playing the game and you can't make a free throw. I don't.
Yeah, but
that.
High school kids shoot better percentages than some of these pros. That's what cracks me up. Like,
get it.
No line moves. Like, that line stays the same from when you're 8 years old, 10 years old, 49 years old, 87 years old.
I don't get
the free
it.
throw line is the free throw line. If you don't get that fundamental down early, I don't think you're ever going to get it down. The only time I really understand is when there's a guy like Shaq,
Okay, yeah.
And then the ball's like this tiny in his hand, and he's just literally just trying to chuck it into the rim. But everybody else, shoot the damn ball.
Centers and people with those big hands, those super strong guys, they get a small pass. But everybody else, nah.
No, just shoot the damn ball. It's the same distance that it's always been. So the Houston victory had a little bit more meaning for one of their players. I don't know if you saw this. His name is DeShawn Johnson, and he was talking after the game, and this is what he had to say.
And to be there for your teammates.
Honestly, shout out to God, and one of my good friends I grew up with, which I call my brother's name, Tristan Eggerson. He actually suffered with a brain aneurysm, and right now he's brain dead. And I just told him I'll do it for him. His family actually called me and put me on FaceTime with him. I got to see him, and I just told him I'll do it for him. And I just want everybody to say a prayer for me and him, that he wake up and he be able to continue his life. But it's just a will to win, and my fallen angels, my grandma, my cousin YG Theodore Jones, and I'm just doing it for them.
DeShawn, that's great perspective. I'm glad you could win for them. Enjoy it.
Appreciate you. Elite Eight us.
And he almost pulled off a triple-double, 10, 8, and 8.
Right.
He was right there to pulling it off.
And you saw he wanted that game at the end when he went ahead and got that steal. That's a great. I didn't see that quote, but that was great. It shows with the way he played yesterday, that intensity on both sides of the court.
Yeah, it's crazy how some players can respond under that pressure or under that stress. I don't want to call it pressure, I guess. It's stress. And other players just shut down completely. But obviously for him, it rose his game up, and he was playing with purpose. He was playing with pride. I mean, to me, probably the biggest example of this is Brett Favre, right? When Brett Favre lost his dad and then came back and threw for like 9,000 yards and 5 or 8 touchdowns in one game. Like, it was just an amazing.
That was a Monday night game, too.
It was a Monday night game, yep.
I think with those type of situations, some of those players being on the field or being on the court, it's an escape.
Right.
Like, just for that moment, I can just let it all out and not have a care in the world about the outside world, and then, come back to it afterwards.
Yeah, just shut my brain off and play basketball, but do it with purpose and know that I'm lucky to be out here playing basketball. So I thought that moment was awesome last night when they asked him about that. And then I thought this moment was awesome. Just Houston talking trash after they won. I love this.
We ain't invited to the party. We had to kick the door in, no cap.
No cap.
No, man, no cap. No cap. No cap. No cap. No cap.
When coach got no clue what no cap means, but he's just yelling to fit in with the boys.
Hello, fellow teenagers.
He just heard them all going crazy. No cap!
Yeah, I hate ball caps, too.
That felt so Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yes. But you love to see that out of teams. Like when they're celebrating because they're making it to the Final Four and the coach gets involved. Even if it is the old guy just yelling random stuff, you love to see it.
And what's really dope is that is their first Final Four since 1984, 5 Slamma-Jamma. Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler.
That was a hell of a team. But they didn't win the championship that year, which is crazy.
I think it's going to be a repeat.
You don't think they're going to get it this year?
I don't think they're going to get it.
Who had Houston in their Final Four here?
Not me.
Yeah,
Adam? Adam, did you? Adam's the only. Oh, and Alex. Adam and Alex both had Houston. I had Illinois coming out of that bracket, and they let me down way early.
I'm happy. I'm looking at my perfect bracket payoff. Shout out to Hall Financial. I'm happy that I'm no longer in the 4 digits. I'm down to 3 digits. I'm at like 971. But what I love so much about just March Madness and filling out brackets is my fiance's sister sends me a text late at night saying, I'm so excited, Baylor just won. And I'm like, this girl doesn't know shit about basketball. She's actually number 7 in our bracket, had no clue about any of these teams. And now, if obviously Gonzaga and Michigan, which are the 2 favorites tonight, win in the March Madness tournament, she's got all 4 in the Final Four correct, which means that she's got a damn good shot.
Which one is she?
Lavonda. Number 7.
Yeah, Lavonda. Okay. She does have a good shot because her potential points, too, is 87.
Right.
And, like, the potential points are almost as important as how many points you have right now. Like, right now, I'm sitting about 130, and my potential points only max out at 67, and the top scorer already has 67. So your boy's out of the running, even though I'll potentially have 3 of the Final Four teams. But that's awesome. She's sitting there at 7 right now. Durf is sitting number 1 with 67 points, potential of 91. Eric 76, 65 points, potential of 85. JLB 2532 is sitting at number 3 with 65, potential of 89. Lucky Tyler is sitting there at number 4, and then TMT 30 at number 5. So yeah, it's fun to keep track of all this, man.
I love the people that have no clue what they're doing, though, and they're still alive. And then you don't even want to know how much effort I put in this bracket. I'm sitting here almost at 1,000.
Yeah, Alex is sitting at 27, he said, right?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, Alex is doing pretty well in the brackets, but
you got all 4 in the final 4 at least left?
I think I'm missing one.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, this has been great. So thank you to David Hall and everybody who jumped in on this. I mean, they said we had the most clicks and the most submissions on our page for this whole system that they ran. So
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been fun to watch. My mom was sitting at number 2 at one point. Now
Where's Mom at?
She's down at
Let me
like
see.
600, 400. You can't even find her anymore. But she had a good run. She was
254.
excited. 254. She had a good run. So good job, Mom. Good job, everybody. Good job, Joey's sister's friend. But
Corey.
that's the
No,
fun about
fiance sister.
Oh, Joey's fiance
That's
sister.
my future sister-in-law.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, that's the fun about March Madness. You just fill out these brackets and have fun with them, and it gives you something to keep track of during this whole tournament.
Corey been a little bit quiet. I'm trying to find your name on this list.
I'm quiet for a reason. My bracket was toast after the first weekend.
Was it?
Yeah, oh yeah. I just didn't even look back. It was like it was a scene.
Well, let's get into the second game that played last night. Not really as exciting as the first game. I'm talking about Baylor and Arkansas. Baylor won 81-72 against Arkansas. You guys ever notice that if you spell Arkansas?
I always say it like that, too.
Do you
That's
say
why
it?
I know how to spell it. Arkansas.
And here's Baylor just kind of running out the clock, and there's the whole team celebrating, man. They're on their way to the Final Four.
This is the first Final Four for them in 71 years. So imagine what that feeling is. There's literally people their entire lifetime have never even gotten this far for the Baylor basketball program, and that's awesome.
Yeah, like that dude wasn't even born.
And you're looking at Teague right there. I mean, he had a monster game. 22 points, 5 rebounds. Led the way for him.
So what do you think? Are we going to have the mullet versus the stash of Timmy?
Oh, I don't know.
They're
I'd
both
love to see
alive.
it. Look at that dunk, too,
They're both
man.
alive.
Look how high he got on that. Watch this. Boom!
Sheesh.
Over 4 defenders, too, just sitting there not knowing how to box out.
You know what? Along with free throws, I do not see anybody, even in the pros, they don't box out anymore.
Laziness.
I was watching the playoffs last year, NBA playoffs last year, and I was just screaming, "Get a damn rebound, box the F out!" Like, what's so hard?
I just think they don't care anymore. They're just trying to run the other way and get the offense flowing. So they're not crashing the boards like they used to, not sending as many men. And it's just, you got your big man down there. If he doesn't get it, all right, we're playing offense. We'll get the ball back in 10 seconds anyways.
I just don't get it. This seems like the fundamentals of basketball. Like, they're better athletes, but they're fundamentally sound. I don't know.
Could you teach me one thing? Because my entire life, it was always that, because I was always a guard, so I was standing outside the three-point range for free throws. And if you were to cross the three-point line, that was a violation, right?
Before it touches the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the NBA, if you look, they are always past that line, like not even caring.
I think it's when it leaves his hand if
Oh,
you're
in the
behind the
NBA?
three-point
Oh,
line.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I'm like, these players don't care at all.
Yeah, no, I think it's once it leaves his hand if you're at the, because if you remember that Jordan dunk that he timed a long time ago,
Yeah.
coming off the three-point line, like one of the greatest dunks of all time. So yeah,
If that were the case, I would charge as a guard to go get the board, though. There's no effort in the NBA.
no, not anymore, man. They're playing that three ball. That's all they want to do is shoot, and that's what it's all about. It's not about defense anymore. It's not about crashing the boards. That's why we love a guy like Beef Stew on the Pistons, because he's a throwback player that's going to mix it up, get in there, be physical, get the boards, and maybe elbow Blake Griffin in the face.
Yep.
You know I'm buying you a Beef Stew jersey, right? Whether you wear it or not, I'm still going to buy it.
I will put it up in my basement. Like,
Deal.
I'll frame
That's one that you could wear. Like, you know, you say it's weird to a man to wear another man's.
I think it is.
As long as he puts it up in the man cave, I'm good.
Then it's worth the purchase.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get a Beef Stew T-shirt and rock it.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, I'll wear a T-shirt. I don't know, man. I don't know when it was, but something clicked in me years ago that was like, this feel weird with Ben Wallace owning my
bag. You said it was the Ben Wallace one.
Yeah, well, no, that's what set me off, and I had to like get rid of 18 different throwback jerseys when Ben left. Like I had all of them, man, from like the 70s with the lightning bolt. I had the throwbacks. I had the all red.
NBA is such pimps with those jerseys.
Oh, dude, and I was such a whore back then for the jerseys. So we worked hand in hand, baby. Like
it was a relationship.
Yeah, man. Me, eBay, and jerseys were a great combination back in the day. Now, obviously, I am not rocking jerseys, but we see it with like Mikey, TikTok Mikey. He's still wearing the basketball jerseys and stuff. He reminds me of a young me.
Dude, he's always rocking them TikTok jerseys, them NBA jerseys. I love it.
Yeah. So obviously Baylor won last night. Not too many highlights from that game. Baylor pretty much dominated wire to wire. There was a couple moments where Arkansas showed that they could come back, but that's it. So we got Houston and Baylor playing Saturday. Both are looking for their first NCAA championship.
Ooh-wee.
And you look at both of these teams right now, like, I'm excited for obviously we got to get past tonight for Michigan, but the next opponent in there would be Gonzaga. And that right there is one team that I've just wanted to bite their kneecaps off so badly because I just don't like Gonzaga at all. They're a great team, but it's just you look at these potential Final Four teams that are remaining, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, the talent that we have in the remainder of March Madness right now is awesome. But then you look at one of the crazy stats that I was looking at, the performance of like in the history, like the last NCAA men's basketball title among these Elite Eight teams. I mean, you look at UCLA, they're at 95. Obviously, Arkansas, they lost yesterday, but their last was in 94. Michigan's was in 89. Gonzaga, Baylor, Houston, USC, they've never won a title. So it's just a lot that they're competing for right now.
Yeah, that's what happens when there's 0 teams left from the East Coast. Everybody's up for their first or second title, and that's what you love to see, just these young teams coming up and fighting for each other, because that's when you're getting new rivalries being born, and that's what I want to see out of this tournament.
Oh, it's going to be some new rivalries being born, but you know what? Gonzaga and USC tonight, I'm gonna say something rude.
What are you going to say?
USC's about to pull off an upset.
Really? Why do you think that?
It's just a hunch. It's nothing that has to. It's not me saying, "Oh, USC has this player or this coaching system that's about to work." I just have a strange feeling about tonight's game. I don't know what it is. It's gonna come down to the wire. I can't make sense of it, but usually when I just have these weird feelings, something happens.
Your spidey senses are
My
up?
spidey senses are tingling.
That's what it is, though. Anytime you have an undefeated team, it's always like, all right, this is the time it's going to hit. No, wait, this is the time it's going to hit. So if it doesn't hit tonight.
If it doesn't hit, I'm just an idiot.
Oh, it's damn well going to hit next game, though.
Yeah, especially if Michigan wins. So let's get on into that. I mean, Michigan tonight, 9:57 tip-off, which is driving Maz from the hook absolutely insane.
I'm with them. We're not East Coast, but we're still in the Eastern time zone. Like, why is Michigan's game coming on so late?
I mean, just because that's the seeding. Like the number one.
I hate it, though.
Gonzaga's the number 1 overall seed, so they're going to get the top time slot, and we're going to get the late game.
I know, but I just hate it still. I know. I hate it.
This is one of those games where if it's not exciting early, I'm going to find myself like passing out, then waking up with like 4 minutes left in the game and like, oh, all right, let's go, Michigan.
That's what sucks, though. It's not a game that you could just knock out for.
I know.
We got to watch every single second of it.
Damn right.
So, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one.
Just, get the Keurig going, have the coffee ready, and or Red Bull, whatever your drink of choice is, just got to power it out.
All right. What's up, Fish?
So I was going to bring up why Michigan has the 9:57 game. I was going to say it's because of what bracket they're in, the West bracket. That's not true. They're in the East. But I looked and I'm like, wait a minute. It could have been in the West. So I looked, and they're in the East. So I have no exclamation.
Yeah, it says it's the seeding. That's what it is. The higher seed gets the better game. That's it. And Gonzaga's the number 1 overall seed in the tournament, so they're going to get placed higher. That's it. That's simple.
But to get into this game, looking at our entire East region that we're in, I looked at, in the beginning, Florida State probably being the hardest team that we play in our region. And we beat them by 18. I mean,
Yeah.
you looked at Florida State's height. You looked at their length. Like, that team had everything on paper that you thought would give Michigan a tough time. And we got by that no problem. I don't want them thinking, oh, well, this is going to be an easy game today against UCLA, but I feel really confident about this game.
Well, you know what UCLA has that Florida State didn't have? A guy named Tiger Campbell. Mm-hmm. And tonight, the point guard matchup is going to be a hairy situation.
Tall boy?
No, man. Have you seen these?
Have you seen the hair?
Mike Smith versus Tiger
yeah.
Campbell. Oh, my God. Look at these two. Like, I am so looking forward to these two going head-to-head, locking up with each other at the point guard position. There's our boy Mike Smith. Looking
Clean.
smooth as hell.
Clean.
Look at that hair just flowing in the wind. Absolutely beautiful. But now his nemesis across. So these two are heads up all game long. That is so much hair at the point guard position tonight.
I know hair is light. I already know. But it just feels like they have an extra 15 pounds on top of their head just by looking at it.
There's no way that like I would be walking like this the whole time if I had that much hair on my head.
Dude looks like Bob Marley a little bit.
Can you flash
he
those
really-
real quick
he
and go
really
back and
does.
forth, back and forth? Like, because it's just so crazy.
I don't know who he looks like. He just looks like himself.
Yeah, that's Mike Smith.
But that's Bob Marley.
He does have a little Bob Marley
has some
vibe to
Bob
him.
Marley in him, yeah.
But look at this. I am looking forward to this matchup at the point guard position.
I love that about these two players. They're just trying to make a name for themselves because that hair is something that you will never forget. Just like the mullet, just like the stash. You got to make a name for yourself. And now it's all about who plays better tonight.
Yeah, see, and now I have more confidence if we go up against a Baylor because they're not the only ones with a guy with a mullet. We got to do with crazy hair. And then, I'm not bad going up against Gonzaga with the crazy stash because we got Mike Smith. And if he could beat his literal arch nemesis, like evil Mike Smith is what I want to call Tiger Campbell all night tonight because they're just polar opposites of each other.
I'm just looking at. I got one question for you both to go off subject.
Uh-huh.
Michigan is a 7.5 point favorite.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that everybody is overlooking UCLA just already punching Michigan into the Final Four? Because that's the one thing that I'm kind of scared about right now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's one thing I'm scared about, too, because if you look at UCLA, they beat Michigan State, they beat BYU, they beat Abilene Christian and Alabama all by double digits. They don't have one win that's less than 10 points.
That's just really bugging me. It's like all the radio shows, all the media show, the national media television shows, us up here. Everybody just has Michigan in the Final Four. And you know what? I haven't been in the Final Four, too, for good reason. It's just like the way it's getting talked about, they've already penciled them in. That is kind of concerning because I'm wondering, are they hearing that? Are they kind of feeling them stuff? Are they going to go out there and just kind of like just play like, hey, we're already in, if these guys are just going to roll over? Because if we've seen one thing so far in this tournament, UCLA is not rolling over for anybody.
I always go back to rivalries. And you look at who UCLA beat to start this entire thing from the first four in. They beat State. So I always look at it as, especially like the whole Ohio State and all those teams that were Michigan State were beating, that Michigan were losing to. You look at how Michigan State lost to this team. The only way that Michigan could one-up little brother is by beating the team that they lost to. And that's what I think they got to look at. They can't look at what the media and everybody's saying because UCLA's been playing amazing ball, being the underdog as a first four team in to make it this far in the bracket.
Yeah. I wonder if it is going to be some extra motivation for them, for UCLA. Like, all right, we kicked the hell out of little brother. Now we got to go get big brother. And we're going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to see if that happens because that would be a great patch on your jacket. You know, like, hey, we made it to the Final Four. We went through Michigan and Michigan State. Like, we took down Izzo and Juwan Howard. That's a nice resume that UCLA is putting up.
That definitely is, especially for what, a number 11 seed?
Yeah, which bothers me. Like, the whole play-in game for a number 11 seed, like, all the play-in games should be for the 16 seed, right? Like, doesn't that make the most sense? Because if you're playing in for an 11 seed, that means you're already better than the 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, I never understood how that works.
It's weird, though, because it's 11 seeds do the play-ins. There's 2 of those, and then I think it's 16 seeds.
Yep.
So why? It should be
maybe
all
it's just the
4
major
16.
conferences that they put in the 11 seed. Is that what it is? It's major conferences play for the 11 seed, and then all the under conferences play for the 16.
That's still stupid.
That makes sense, but at the same time, just, hey, these are supposed to be the top 64 teams in the nation.
Right.
So if they're competing on the bubble, they should compete up, like, period.
I agree.
So I don't care if you're Abilene Christian or if you're Michigan State. Like, that would cause more upsets and more fun to have, like, your Big Ten going up against, your Horizon League for the 16 play-in game instead of playing in for an 11 seed. Like, that, I don't know. That just bothers me for some reason.
NCAA go NCAA.
Yeah, they're just going to do what they want to do. So, yeah, Michigan. So we're seeing Maz is commenting that Michigan is favored by 6.5 now. So I guess it really depends on where you're finding your line. I saw it 7.5 this morning.
Yeah, me too.
Over,
I was wondering.
Yeah, over under 136.5. What do you guys think about that? Is it going to be a 70-70 type game?
136. I'm gonna say it's gonna be under that.
I'm gonna go under.
You're gonna go under?
I think it's gonna be a big defensive game today.
Do you?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at UCLA. They got that sophomore guard, Johnny Lazang, who's averaging 15 points per game, but it's his shooting percentage that's got me. He's at 48% shooting right now. So this guy is on fire.
En fuego.
he's on fire. But then you look at the big man. You see UCLA's Cody Riley, who's 6'9", facing Hunter Dickinson. But this dude weighs 255 pounds. It's a big boy.
Those are the guys you hate to play against, too, because
Yes.
they're low center of gravity. You can't move them. You can never move them off their spot. But, yeah, just like we talk about every game for Michigan, Hunter Dickinson needs to have a big game and stay out of foul trouble. If he does that, I think Michigan clearly wins this game. To me, if Hunter Dickinson, he's the key to this game. If he gets in trouble early, then it totally changes how they're going to approach UCLA.
He's the key to every game. I mean, he's the biggest guy on the court, but also he's there. To me, he's Michigan's best player and most important player, especially with Livers being out. But also, they're going to need another big game from Brown off the bench. He's going to have to definitely step up and play. Hopefully, Brandon Johns Jr. stops point shaving and steps it up tonight. But yeah, Dickinson, I think he's going to have a big game. He's played well the past 2 games, especially last game. He did not get in a lot of foul trouble. He played within himself. And Juwan Howard needs adjustments. You got to just give it up for him.
Yeah, my next question was going to be, who do you think like the unsung hero is going to be? Not like a Wagner, not a Dickinson, but somebody that surprises us tonight, because we've seen it the last 2 games. John's last game. Honestly, never really heard of the dude before last game. And out of nowhere, dude just takes over in the first half. And then you got Shawnee Brown and Brooks the game before, both putting up 21 points, when that really wasn't what they were doing all season long. So who do you think is going to have that like breakout performance tonight?
I'm going to go on the women. I'll say Eli Brooks. I think Eli Brooks is going to have a really good game. I liked how he's played in the tournament so far. At first, we didn't even know if he was going to play too, just like Livers, because he went down with a nasty injury, and he had on a walking boot. Then ever since that walking boot, he's been kicking people's ass with that.
And that's the thing. He only had 6 points last game. Like, we got to get more out of him. But the biggest thing with him that I love is his defense.
Exactly.
His effort on the defensive end is literally all that we need, because you look at him on paper, that's a small little dude. So that would be a mismatch. But he carries himself well, man, at that short height.
And also, too, with Eli, even though he doesn't score a lot of points, he makes clutch shots. He makes shots when they matter, and also he's a playmaker. So he's great at getting guys open, and along with Mike Smith running that backcourt.
Yeah, Justin Spiro saying the only way Michigan loses is if UCLA is hot and Michigan is cold. The averages stick near the mean. Bruins are dead. That's what he's saying. And
that's usually how it goes, Justin.
Yep. And then
if one team's hot, they win.
The team that scores the most points wins. Then you got Dan Notini saying Brooks will be the star tonight. And I'd like to see that, man.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Brooks have another breakout game. But really, I'm on the Shawnee Brown bandwagon, man. Like, you heard me yesterday. I think this kid could actually go pro now. I don't think he had that opportunity before this year at Michigan, but now he's put himself in that spotlight. The last 2 games have shown that he's a serviceable player.
You think he goes pro now, or comes back and then for another year to get that season?
Can he come back? I don't know his eligibility. I guess.
Because I know the eligibility thing is kind of funky right now with the
with COVID.
With COVID, I'm still trying to figure. I've honestly still been trying to figure that whole thing out, because people are saying that Livers could come back for another year.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know his situation. I do know he transferred here from Wake Forest, and I'm not sure how many years he was there. I thought it was that he was there 3, but I may be thinking of Mike Smith, who transferred with.
Yeah, Mike Smith is definitely gone this year.
Yeah, Mike Smith, he did his whole run, and then he transferred here. So we'll see about Shawnee Brown. But to me, a couple of his baseline drives have really shown that he's got the strength, he's got the athleticism, and he's got just the balance and the size to hang with anybody.
And you forgot one thing. He has the nads because Shawnee Brown has been he's so composed. He played again, another player like Eli Brooks, plays within himself and plays within the team concept, and it's clutch.
Yeah, Tank Anderson saying Shawnee Brown will have a great game tonight. So he's on the Shawnee Brown bandwagon, too.
You know what's my favorite about this conversation is we did this last time, too. We're talking about players that are going to be a difference maker. We just literally named every single player possible. So then tomorrow we're going to be like, I told you so.
You got to hedge your bets and cover your ass all across the board so that way you won't be wrong.
There you go, man. So Michigan playing tonight. Tip-off is at 9:57 p.m. So make sure you're up watching that game. Michigan hopefully going to the Final Four. When we come back, it's time for Joey's News.
An ounce at Michigan dispensaries is over $300. Why pay that when you can grow your own? With just one light, you can pull down over 48 ounces every harvest. Do that math and then come see us at Grow Green, where we have everything you need to start growing and a staff of master growers to help guide you. Click growgreenmi.com.
Good morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's News.
Let's go!
So we just wrapped up talking some college basketball, March Madness. Just to recap, Houston and Baylor, this is their first Final Four in 71 years. They both are advancing to the Final Four, and Houston is the first team to play 4 double-digit seeded teams in a tournament. And yes, we can all agree that this is the easiest road to the Final Four that we have ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Ever.
Pretty easy. Pretty easy. But then we talk about how Baylor is advancing to the Final Four. We go to Baylor's women's squad, and their season came to an end after a controversial no call where even LeBron and other NBA players on this one saying that should have been a foul. And what's your thoughts on this one?
That's a foul. Point blank, period.
What I hate is you see number 3 right there. What I hate so much is the way that refs treat this bullshit. My hands are in the air. Okay, your hands are in the air, but that's if you're set. You can't just say, my hands are in the air, and play it back one more time. My hands are in the air. I'm going to take 10 steps in your way. She doesn't stop whatsoever, continues to keep walking on that. And that's where I agree with LeBron that that's BS. Look at the feet. Man. She keeps going. Jumps.
I love Gino Oriano's comment after the game about LeBron commenting on this call. He's like, yeah, I'm sure LeBron has never had a call go his way at the end of the game. I'm sure he's absolutely apologized and turned the game around and handed the win over to the other team. Like, just shut the hell up, LeBron. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like, I get it. It's cool that you're talking about the female game, and more people should. And Corey, you made a great post yesterday about that. But at the same time, man, LeBron, you've gotten your fair share of calls. You've gotten away with hacking people at the end of the game.
We know damn well LeBron did this for one reason only, just to show that he supports women's basketball.
Right.
He don't give a shit. He doesn't
but
give
Gino
a shit.
But Gino Oriano saying that just cracked me up. Like, I was like, he's right. He's right.
It was a foul. It was a foul, though. But yeah,
it was a foul.
But LeBron is not the person who should really kind of comment on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they should have flopped more like LeBron, and they would have gotten the call or something like that.
Exactly, and that's what's crazy about it is that this was the game tying. They were down by 2, so this obviously makes such a big difference for the squad, and it's got to be tough for Baylor.
From my understanding, though, this is how they called the game pretty much the whole game. Like they were letting.
Then in that case, which it was, but it's like. You gotta call it, but also too, you can't give up that kind of run to put yourself in that position anyway. So
there it is. I mean, if we can always blame referees for everything. Like, Lions fans are infamous for it for that Dallas Cowboy game. But then they forget that we had the ball back. We shanked a punt that went 20 yards. Like, we did a lot of things after that penalty that really screwed us over. So we can focus on the penalty all you want, but there was 5.5 minutes left in the game. You still had time to make up for that bad call.
Yeah, I think if they went on like a 19-0 run, something like that.
Yeah.
Can't give that up.
No, you can't.
That's UConn basketball at its finest right there. And this is actually Gino after the game. They got him.
Oh, we do it. Oh,
They
you're
got
talking
him.
about the confetti.
They got him with
his
the
quote.
confetti. What would you rather want? The Gatorade or that?
I want the Gatorade.
You do? Me too.
Hell no. I want the confetti.
See, but Gatorade's the Gatorade.
I know. It's sticky. It's nasty. It's all over you. You got to ruin
They
your
got
clothes.
showers.
Like, you got to walk around soaking wet. This, you just kind of, brush it off your shoulders and keep going.
March Madness, the Elite Eight continues today. Number 6 USC taking on number 1 Gonzaga, who Corey is predicting. Gonzaga is going to get their first loss of the season tonight. That game at 7:15.
Again, I'm putting no B-ball IQ into it. I'm just saying it's just a hunch. That's it.
Corey is feeling it. And then the other game, obviously, that we all care about. Number 11, UCLA taking on number 1, our Michigan Wolverines, 9:57 o'clock. And this is going to be
9:57 o'clock.
This is going to be a late game for us. So drink some coffee, do whatever you got to do to stay awake.
Yep. But I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. Like, we only get at best 3 more games out of this team, so I want to watch every bit of it because that's the blessing and the curse of college is, the teams cycle through pretty quickly. So you only get this little bit of time with these teams. So enjoy it, and especially if they're winning, enjoy the hell out of it.
Heck yeah. And then last thing I got is the Detroit Pistons. They won by 14 yesterday against the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, they did.
Pistons shot 51% from the field. And we got to shout out Hamidou Diallo. My man was hot. 19 points, 10 rebounds off the bench.
I'm just so happy that Trade Weaver, and I said that right, Trade Weaver was able to get him for next to nothing. Like, that was a steal.
Yeah, and then, last night Coach Casey was talking about, like Sekou and all the other players not getting minutes, but they said, hey, we want to see what Diallo's got. And listen, if you're given the opportunity, you take it, and that's exactly what he did.
And if you're given an opportunity like going to Northwestern Tech, you got to take it. It's only a 10.5-month hands-on program. So this is the perfect time to learn a trade, start even an entirely new career. Right now is the time. Just learn about their 10.5-month hands-on HVAC program you see it right there, northwesterntech.edu. It's Northwestern Tech, the HVAC school that works. So take advantage of it right now.
And coming up next, we're going to talk about more developments in the Deshaun Watson, what are we calling this? Saga? Is it a saga at this point?
Not 1, not 2, not 3.
Yes.
19.
19 now. Whew. We'll talk about that next.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, up here with Corey and Joey this morning. Thank you guys for being a part of the chat on Facebook and on YouTube, of course, and everybody that's retweeting us and part of the conversation on Twitter. We appreciate you as well. Speaking of social media, Deshaun Watson.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
Where do we start on this one?
I mean, I guess we could start at the beginning. This was, 2 weeks ago now that the allegations started to come out. It was one woman accused him of inappropriate sexual behavior while she was giving him a massage. And then other women have come forward since then. We're now up to 19 women coming forward, but no criminal charges have been filed. These are all civil suits. And it came out yesterday that Deshaun Watson has been sliding into DMs trying to settle these cases.
Hey, that is the mark of a guilty ass man.
And here's the thing, like, I get that they got to keep investigating a case like this, but once you see that, is that not the evidence that you need to see to prove that he is guilty?
I don't know if that's the evidence to prove that he's guilty, but the fact that he is doing that, he did something.
But here's the crazy part is his lawyer is denying that he even sent these direct messages.
What he's saying is he sent these, but prior to the allegations.
And you know what the solution is?
So he was trying to settle all of this before it became to light. And now he's saying since the allegations, he hasn't sent anything. But you got to focus on what he said, since the allegations. So to me, that means he sent this before the allegations.
2 weeks plus.
So you still did some shit.
That is probably true. I don't know for 100%. But also, listening to other lawyers and stuff, Corey, I know you have a lawyer friend. The advice I'm hearing for Deshaun Watson is settle all of these and settle them fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is the solution. So if this is what he's trying to do, that may be legal advice that he's getting, like, hey, clean this shit up now. Now.
But I don't even think the DMs are the biggest story. The biggest story is one of those masseuse ladies is not with Tony Busby. She went and told her story to Sports Illustrated.
Ooh.
She went outside. She went outside and talked about it because she's worried about, hey, if he gets traded, he's gonna go to another market and have another set of clients to be able to go after or people to harass. And they said they had a 2.5 hour session with her, and I'm still reading up on that. So
we actually have a quote from Sports Illustrated. Do you want to throw that up? So this is another massage therapist among the plaintiffs filing suit tells her story to Deshaun Watson, inappropriate behavior, and learning she wasn't the only one. So it says, I was in shock. I had trusted the therapist that referred him that nothing weird would happen. I want a genuine apology for putting us in these situations. The fact that he's denying all these allegations makes it more of a reason for us to use our voice.
This whole thing, why go to Sports Illustrated? This is where I think it turns into a money thing. Because, now you know that they go to Sports Illustrated, that they're going to probably be lawyers reaching out, buying this content, getting them to shut up and everything like that. Why do we not just keep this all through the lawyer and keep it as to what the people that are handling the situation?
You know what? I'm in the middle. If she wants to go out and put her story out there like that about a public figure, I don't really care. Because if it happened, this guy doesn't need any covering. He needs to be publicly shamed if he did this. So I'm in the middle of it. But the fact that she did not go with Busby and all, and him going through all of these civil charges, she just went ahead and said, you know what, I'm going outside of this, and I'm going to go ahead and tell my story, not through this lawyer. That to me was just like, all right, this is about to get real ugly for this dude, and rightfully so.
Yeah, because it's less piling on at that point, because Busby was putting it out there like the mesothelioma commercial. If you've been assaulted by Deshaun Watson, please contact me.
And that was my biggest thing. He was trying to condemn this guy in the court of public opinion without actually presenting anything. Remember, Friday came and went. Everything, he was supposed to present this grand amount of evidence on Friday, and I had not seen anything yet. But with this lady going to Sports Illustrated, I'm like, oh yeah, me and my brother talked about oh yeah, he's cooked.
It's definitely turning into that, which is, I don't know, because the first day we handled this story, I thought we did a good job of talking about it without knowing any of the facts and just saying, hey, we got to wait and see. Well, it's been 2 weeks. We've waited, and we've seen 18 more women at minimum coming forward to this point.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I want to preface my comments. I empathize with all victims.
Yep.
I don't know if all 19 or 18 might be true, but I'm pretty sure a nice amount of them are.
And that's usually how these go. Once a couple of them go out, they see some opportunity there. But, at the end of the day, we do sympathize with them, and it's not going to be 19 people coming out there that are all trying to just gang up on him for no reason.
I know the number is big, but think about it. After you do this to a girl once, you're not going to be able to do it again. So you got to find another massage therapist, and then get another massage therapist, and another massage therapist. So this is a little different because of their profession that's involved in it. Because, if he's just a normal, I don't want to say normal sexual assaulter, because those people are not normal by any stretch of the imagination, but
not at that fame level.
Yeah, those situations are different. You're not looking for a service as well. You're just an asshole sexually assaulting women.
Yeah.
This, he wanted a service along with it, and I could see him having this massive turnover like this, because why would you go back after the first time? Well, then I still want my massage, so I call another one. And, massage therapists, there's a lot of them in the world, and you can rifle through them pretty quickly.
What's scary about this, too, is, like, imagine if you are a massage therapist as a female, and now this is all in your head. Like, that's where I'm like, man, this sucks, because there is no cameras in massage therapy rooms, whatever you call those. Like,
right.
There is none. So now it's like, in their head, they're probably thinking, like, dang, I never even thought that something like this really could happen, because you're in a room by yourself with whoever you're massaging.
You know what also bugs me about this? When it comes to these sports teams, all of these owners, they know what their star players are doing.
Right.
They know what kind of mess they're getting into. I'm not saying that they came out and construed some story to kind of make Deshaun Watson look bad because he wanted to get traded. But at the same time, I find it hard to believe that he sexually assaulted all of these women and the Houston Texans didn't know about one.
No, I think you're dead on. And actually, Darren McCarty, who's on the hook from 3 to 5, alluded to that. He's like, listen, organizations will cover up for you. He's like, look at me. Prime example. Like, not that he was sexually assaulting people, but, you know, he had extracurricular activities that were frowned upon by the league that never made it to the league. And so I'm with you, Corey, that maybe if it was like sweeping this under the rug.
If it was only a couple of women,
right,
like at the beginning, let's just say it stayed at like the 2 or the 3. I do think it's possible they could have, not known about it. But if it's this many women, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to believe that they did not know about it. And just me, what I'm thinking is like, remember how we talked about how fishy it was that Tyrod Taylor was signed by the Texans to backup, and then all of the news came out? I'm of the mindset of that what they did was, once they signed Tyrod Taylor, they took their protection off of Deshaun Watson and were just like, hey, it's free game.
He's on his own.
I mean, and honestly, that's a little on Deshaun Watson. Like, you want to be on your own?
It's on him.
You're on your own.
It's on him just for being an asshole and being a horrible person. But if there's any kind of inkling or truth that they had some covering up on this, Texans got to go. The Texans, they got to go into the ringer too.
Yeah. God,
and that organization has not been good.
Oh my God, if it gets that deep to where there's an organizational cover-up of all of these rapes,
it cannot be. It's no way they heard about. They did not hear about this, and especially they said a lot of these happened in Houston. They knew. I'm of the mindset they knew.
Well, here's the supposed DM that Deshaun Watson has been sending, and ironically, a year ago today, Monday, March 30th, and today is March 30th, a year ago today is when he sent this message. Like, hey, sorry you're feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies. Now,
to work in the future? Like he's trying to get more?
I don't know. To me, there's a lot to be interpreted to whoever's reading that in that statement, and however you want to, like, I don't know. How do you read that? Sorry you're feeling uncomfortable. Okay, so obviously something uncomfortable happened in that room, right? That never were my intentions. So if the charges have been that he's been grabbing girls' heads and putting them down, near his junk, I don't see how he could follow that up. Those weren't my intentions. So, like, that's the vague part to me. Like, what was the action that wasn't his intentions?
Yeah, that's a really, it's hard to pull what I want to pull from that text message. The theory.
Right.
Were these like at actual business establishments, or was this like on all private massages?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm assuming probably a mix of both.
Yeah.
Because I mean, does anybody else like use the app where you can have massage therapists come to your house?
No.
Yeah, there's an app for that. It's awesome. We've used it a bunch at my house.
Really?
Yeah. It's nice. And I think it's called Zell. Zeel is what it's called. So, yeah. So I've used that app a couple times, and, it's literally just like Uber Eats for massages. Like, that's literally what it is, and you can, pick your person and all that good stuff,
Right.
and they find somebody in your area and they send them over. So, if he's using that, shit, that's at his house. He can go through, hundreds are in there. So it's a cool app, but obviously, there's nothing. if he's having them at his house, he's not recording it. He's not letting them record.
Or, I mean, there's no recording of any of this, so there's not going to be this evidence because you're in a massage parlor in your little suite where you're getting your massage. There's no cameras in there.
Yes, it's he say, she say.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's in civil court right now, because if it was in criminal court, it would be hard to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But civil cases, you don't need that much evidence. It's more based off of actuality, I guess, than factuality.
Like with the criminal, you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. With the civil, it's like he more than likely did.
Yeah. It's a different. Just ask OJ. It's a different case. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Adam is here with his bets of the day. We'll do that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies. It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
Put on some nice happy morning music for Adam. Welcome, Adam. It is the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. Opening day, we're going to be partying at the Brass Rail, so make sure if you're heading downtown, you stop by. All the shows are going to be doing a live video broadcast from there, so it's going to be a fun time. Get yourself on the Woodward Sports Network. Pop down and say hi.
Can we eat some pizza? Because it is Brass Rail Pizza Bar. Do we get to eat pizza in the morning show? Because that's pretty awesome.
You can. I don't think Corey can.
Corey's still on his diet. Breakfast pizza. Do you ever mess with breakfast pizza?
I haven't actually.
Oh, dude,
it's good.
Breakfast pizza is really good.
What is it?
It's just like
a pizza but with eggs on top of it.
Eggs and bacon and cheese, and sometimes they use like gravy as the sauce.
Ooh,
breakfast pizza.
Breakfast pizza. I'm trying that. You got that.
So every morning at 8:50, Adam hops on and goes over his bets of the day. Last night, how'd you do, Adam?
3-2.
All right, that
Pistons.
seems to be like
one of the losses were someone.
Fish. Oh, tell him, Fish.
Pistons. Interesting.
Fish hates when you bet against the hometown teams.
I'm gonna keep betting against them, Fish, probably until mid-season next year. So get comfortable.
All right, Adam, what do you got?
God. So tonight, I mean, we got 2 Elite 8 games, so I'm going to start with the UCLA-Michigan game. I'm not interested in who wins. I'm interested in the points. I'm going to take the over. I think UCLA has been hot this entire tournament. Michigan have been one of the few teams outside of Gonzaga, USC, and really Baylor, and that's about it really in the tournament, that have been consistent on offense every single game. Regardless of their opponent, they've played their brand of basketball, and it's worked for them. So I think this game goes over 135.5. I like the number. I'm really confident in it. You look at the last 3 games played by Michigan and UCLA, all 3 of those have covered, so I'm feeling comfortable with it. The next game, of course, Gonzaga-USC. Corey has Gonzaga on upset alert, but again, I don't care. I actually think this is the defensive game of the night. Both teams have been offensively dominant the entire tournament. There's a reason why they're in the Elite 8. Having said that, I think 153 points is a huge number. It's a tall order. Gonzaga and USC, if there are 2 teams to go over, it's them, but it's going to be a defensive struggle. Possessions are going to be very, very valuable tonight. This is probably going to be the closest game of the whole tournament, maybe, outside of Alabama, UCLA.
That was a great game.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'll move on to the Denver Nuggets playing against 76ers. No Joel Embiid. I think Nuggets cover. I mean, it's really that simple. It doesn't get more simple than that. Sixers are a good team. Doc Rivers has them playing well, but I'm going to take Jokic, who is really such an interesting center. I guess that's your modern-day NBA center now.
He's the NBA Krutwig. That's what he is. He's the dad bod god, man. I love that. He's just a big dude that can ball out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take the Nuggets with the points. I really like the number. And, of course, Fish's favorite team, the Detroit Red Wings, play tonight. And I was going to bet against them, but they're heavy underdogs, so it's not worth putting money on just for them to lose. Stick, you know my number, 5.5.
There it is.
Every time I see
Every
5.5, I'm going to bet it. And I'm going to keep betting the over on 5.5 in hockey. And it's just not going to stop. It's going to happen with the Red Wings and Panthers tonight. And it's going to happen with the Blue Jackets and the Lightning tonight. I feel really confident in both of those games to go over 5.5 goals. And those are my 5 games of the night.
I like it, man. I like it.
We reached the 100-win mark yesterday, actually.
And how many days has it been that we've been doing this?
Let's see. I mean, I want to say like 12 weeks.
Fish, you know how he could have gotten there faster?
Like 6 to 8 weeks.
Tell him, Fish.
If he chose the Pistons and Red Wings.
There he goes. You could have gotten there faster, Adam. Probably not, but you probably could.
Probably not.
Definitely not.
Let's run them down one more time, all 5 of your bets. And if you want to follow Adam and make sure you know all these bets, we post them up on our IG story and all over our social media right after the show. So, Adam, let's run through the 5 bets one more time.
Yeah, we're going to start with the UCLA-Michigan game. It's super late start. I'm going to take the over at 135.5. I'm really, really excited about it.
But
go ahead.
You're taking the over. Who do you got to win the game?
Who do I got to win?
Yeah.
He said, I don't even care who wins the game. You better say you care.
I'm not talking spread. Let's just go money line bet right now.
Man.
Adam's the type of guy to go UCLA.
I mean, I had UCLA beating State. I got to say Michigan.
Michigan?
Michigan are a more complete team. UCLA are a team that rely heavily on their three-point game. And if they fall under 30%, they have a 28% win percentage this year. So I'm not buying UCLA from a defensive standpoint. I don't think they have anybody that'll stop Hunter Dickinson. They don't contest the perimeter all that well either. USC, honestly, is probably the most dangerous team from a defending the perimeter standpoint. So I think Michigan will be just fine tonight.
Fish?
Who do you have winning it all, Adam?
I actually have Houston winning it all in my bracket.
Do you? They looked damn good in that first half yesterday. Second half, not so much.
I have Houston beating Gonzaga.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get back into your bets. I know I kind of
got
you off track there.
Yeah,
but
well, speaking of Gonzaga, I'm going to take the under, actually, at 153 points. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Gonzaga are like the most complete team in the country. USC has like one of the best backcourts. It doesn't get any better than that, really. I just think Gonzaga are really going to bring a defensive energy to the game that USC is going to have to match. And I don't think these teams go over 70 points, either of them. So it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'll move on to the Nuggets. I think they're going to cover tonight. 4.5 points. I like the number. The Nuggets generally win by 6.5 to 7 points on average this season. So, I really like the number. It's favorable. The 76ers don't have Joel Embiid, so I have nothing to worry about with Jokic. I'm just gonna take the Nuggets on the
and then, of course, your 5.5 strategy.
Yeah, 5.5 points, guys. Whenever you see it, whenever I see it, and I'm comfortable with the game. I love the Red Wings tonight. I love the Blue Jackets game tonight. I'm taking the over on both games, 5.5 goals, and the parlay. I believe these odds are plus 2660 in total if you parlay them. So $50 will win you $1,278. Not a bad gig. I'm trying to end the week undefeated. So we're gonna see how this works.
I like it.
So we got today, tomorrow, and Friday. I'm
undefeated?
I'm gonna try to go 15-0. That's my goal.
What about Thursday? You skipped a day.
No, I didn't. Oh, today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday.
Yeah, so 20-0. You're gonna try to go 20-0 on the week?
We'll shoot for 18-2.
That is one hell of a parlay.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if you can do it, you're the man. So make sure every morning at 8:50 you're tuning in for Adam's Bets, and this is what he does. He comes on, he analyzes the game like that 28% three-point percentage that they don't win any games if they shoot under that. Like, I didn't know that stat, but that's the analytics that Adam's looking up, and he's studying between every show to make sure he's giving you the best bets. And like you said, you look at that record, where 100 and something?
101-60, I believe.
Yeah, that is a solid betting record, and I think anybody would be happy with that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Adam, for coming on. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes spoke to the media yesterday. We're going to talk about that next on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show right here on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and we got to give a shout-out to MyBookie. If you were listening to Adam's Bets, that's where you need to go to place your bets. Go to mybookie.com today and enter promo code Woodward, and we will match your first deposit up to 50%. So you got big money on that Michigan game tonight. No matter what the spread is, you can do it. You can always take the prop bets. That's what I like to mess around with, is the prop bets when I'm on mybookie.com. Plus, they also have a live casino too. So if you want to play some blackjack right now, go ahead. mybookie.com. That's where you need to go to get your game on. My favorite human in the world spoke yesterday, Dan Campbell. MCDC. Corey, first I got to apologize to you, because normally Corey's on all these press conferences, but you had to fill in yesterday for Baligian and Bell. I know filling in with Terry Foster isn't like the worst punishment you could ever have in the world.
It was so horrible.
It was the worst. But I'm sad to take you off those press conferences. But did you get to hear some of it and what they were talking about?
Yeah, I got to hear some of it. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. The one thing I will say I took away from the few clips I saw, man, they did not really want to get into that Kenny Galladay talk. They were just like, he gone.
And I like that. Like that's got to be how this is, because that's one of those that we just do not dwell on, because that's in the past. And we got to move on, because especially you look at the coaches that we got in place right now, they have nothing to really do with all of that, because he made his own decision by denying that $18 to $19 million offer last year.
Yeah, and honestly, that kind of, we heard rumors about Kenny Galladay turning into a diva while he was here, and the way they handled that kind of just shows me that the rumors are true.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't want to give an exact reason. They didn't want. It was just like, listen, we wish him well in future endeavors. Like that's literally what they did. They sent out the company email yesterday.
Exactly.
Here's what Brad Holmes said. It said on why he decided to not make New York Giants wide receiver Kenny Galladay, a player to build around for the future. Well, with Kenny always stated that he's a very, very talented receiver, but we pretty much knew that, as with pretty much every year in terms of free agency in the draft, that is relatively deep in both spots. It was a few factors that went into it, but at the end of the day, it was just making the right decision for the Lions, but not only short term, but more importantly, long term. So that was the decision that we came to, which Kenny, nothing but the best, and New York was happy to see that he got a good deal. Now, as you said right there, some of the stuff was true. Like, hold on, let me go back to it. It was a few different factors that went into it.
Right.
He kind of said it without saying it.
Yeah, because if it was on the field stuff, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He performed when he was on the field. And
what's interesting, saying happy to see he got a good deal. Pretty much was the same deal that the Lions offered, the 18 to 19 mil last year.
But he gets to go play with Daniel Jones now.
As new coaches, they got to say that, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
So
they handled it the right way.
They handled it the right way. I'm happy with that. Now, good luck. I could care less about how Kenny Galladay does the rest of his career. I'm excited about our future.
Yeah, me too. And Dan Campbell is excited about all the guys that they've brought in, because he feels that they've bought in to what the Lions are and will be in the future. Here's a clip about that.
Probably the best thing about all of these guys we've signed is I think they all got something to prove, and they got a little bit of chip on their shoulder, whether it's I'm coming off an injury, or, they were trying to reduce my salary, or I'm a guy that they didn't want anymore, or I'm a guy who they think is washed up, or, man, all these guys have something to prove, and, man, so do we. I mean, Brad's got something to prove. I got something to prove. My staff has something to prove. I mean, everything we've kind of done, Sheila's got something to prove. It's been a little bit unorthodox, I guess you could call it, but that's a good thing, man. We want hungry people here that want to be here. They all wanted to be here and want to win.
Does that remind you of any other former Detroit sports teams? A bunch of guys that feel like they were neglected, coming together and trying to prove themselves? Anybody?
The 2004 Pistons.
Bing. Winner.
That is his thing, too, is chip on his shoulder. I've realized that is his line. He loves saying chip on his shoulder, and that's kind of like the types of players that he wants are people that are there to just prove themselves and people that want to be here.
Right.
And that's all we need.
Well, that's exactly what the Lions need, because you have to have guys that want to come here with a chip on their shoulder and nothing else, because let's be real. It's the Lions. What pride is there in really putting on the Honolulu blue and silver? There's no prestige that comes with playing in a Lions jersey. He's trying to create that. So by him getting rid of guys that do not fit his image and for his culture, and trying to bring those guys in, I'm with that. Gonna bring in guys that fit what you're trying to put forth on the field.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're the man, be the man. And if this is how you want to do it this way and go all in. Because if you lose not doing it your way, you're going to regret it a lot more than like, oh, man, I knew what to do. We just didn't do it.
And that's why I'm glad that Brad Holmes and the whole new regime, they didn't do what Bob Quinn tried to do, just put Band-Aids on it. They said, look, we're going to do it our way. So in order to do it our way, we have to tear the whole damn thing down. That's what Lions fans have been asking for a while. If we're going to suck, for real suck, not just pretend like, you're selling us a bag of goods, like we can potentially be a playoff team and then we suck. If you're just going to tell us off rip, look, it's going to be some growing pains, but we're going to tear this down and build it up to be a winner for the future. Lions fans can get behind that.
Yeah, it's much better than we're not rebuilding and we're going to make the playoffs and then we come out and lay an egg. Or if you don't make the playoffs this year, you're fired. Like those types of seasons just suck in general. And honestly, I don't think the Lions are going to be as bad as everybody thinks they're going to be. I made the joke yesterday that we could be the first team to go 0-17, but I don't think that'll be on Dan Campbell's watch.
No, not at all. I think the Lions are playoff team. No, but somewhere hovering near 500, that's what I'm kind of feeling this season.
Yeah, Pat McAfee had a great quote yesterday about Dan Campbell and the Lions going 0-17. He was like, Dan Campbell would suit up and play before he let that happen.
I mean, listen to the guy. He sounds like he's still ready to suit up and go do an Oklahoma drill.
Yeah. Well, and he was also talking about how players are trusting in them and trusting in this process too. Alex?
Well, I think just a combination of what we've begun to build here, the vibe that is being that I think people are starting to catch up on a little bit here. And then, I think that's where my staff and myself, I feel like we can kind of gain an advantage or have a little bit. And so that's encouraging. That's what you want. All these guys we've signed, salary aside, they're fired up to be here. I mean, it's a genuine excitement. And look, you can call it, there's a little bit of a leap of faith in their part, and shoot, man, we appreciate that. But it kind of tells us that we feel like we're going in the right direction.
Because it is a leap of faith. I mean, you're looking at a guy like Jamal Williams that has just a ton of energy and just a great personality. We were lucky enough to interview him last week, and he is the man. I mean, and those are the type of guys that you want on your squad, and that's the type of energy you want to bring forward.
I mean, this is the NFL. Every single player, I don't care how the top or at the bottom of the list you are, you're still obviously there because you're a great player.
Right.
It just takes a leader to believe in you, and then you got to believe in this leader to really guide you in the right direction, because you look at the things that he's been doing and Brad Holmes, they're assembling a team. They're trying to get Goff the players and the weapons that he needs to succeed. And now it's really just, I hate the quote, but trusting the process, and it truly is.
And the thing is, they've gone about it in a way that is believable. We'll watch Lions over the past couple of years and see what they do in the free agency, see what they do in the draft, and you'll just be like, why did they get that guy? What the hell are they doing right here? Now you're like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. I see what type of idea, what direction they're trying to go in. The draft for me is going to be the real tell-all of like, okay, how are they building this team for the future? Because so far what they've done in free agency, tangible moves that make sense. Don't need to go out and go break the bank on a wide receiver with the deep wide receiver draft. Go out and just go get a couple of nice pieces and then, build through the draft. I just like the moves that they're making so far, but the draft is going to be the really big thing for me.
Yeah, it's going to tell a lot about the direction of this, because especially if they go skill position player, it's going to show, all right, we're trying to get Jared Goff some weapons. Mm-hmm. If they go offensive line, it's like, okay, we're going to try to build this from the trenches out. I love the position that they've put themselves in. I just saw a mock draft yesterday that had the Lions taking Jamar Chase, but it also had Mac Jones going number 3, which I thought was crazy till I saw that the 49ers have pretty much confirmed if Mac Jones is there at number 3, that's who they're taking. So Mac Jones moving up pushes another great skill player down and another great player down, because we were only expecting the big 4, to be Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and then, of course, Joey's boy, Justin
Pro
Fields.
day today, by the way.
Yeah, but now you throw in Mac Jones, and we're sitting at 7. That leaves we could have a top 2 pick sub-quarterback.
So you mean to tell me that it's a potential that Penei Sewell or Kyle Pitts could be available at 7 now?
Easily.
They got them available probably at number 20 on these bullshit mock drafts.
Okay, here's my thing. If there is like another quarterback available to the Lions at that number, I think they have to make a trade with Carolina. They have to. The Lions, they have to tease the fact that they're going to take a quarterback and just rob Carolina for whatever they can, and then just move back one spot, and then get the same guy that was going to fall down to him at 7, and then maybe get a couple extra picks under there. Maybe another second or third rounder. I don't know. But don't tip your cap already.
And that's what the Lions haven't done so far this offseason, which I absolutely love, because we're sitting up here. We don't know. Are they going to take a lineman? Are they going to take Kyle Pitts? Are they going to go quarterback? Are they going to go wide receiver? And the teams sitting behind them that need any of those positions, we now have value, and that is what we just pitched out the window last year by saying, we're not taking a quarterback. Don't worry about it. Okuda's our guy before the draft. And then they knew that Tua was going to drop. They knew that Herbert was going to drop, so nobody put crazy value on trading up to get those positions, because you and I both agree we could have gotten Okuda and possibly another first-round pick or a second-round pick or something by trading down. We didn't do that because we tipped our cap. And part of that is on ownership for putting that win-now mandate on Quinn and Patricia. But part of it's on Quinn and Patricia for sucking so bad you need a win-now mandate. But either way, that's what happened. And I love the way the Lions are playing their hand this year.
And that's the thing is, like, to your point, Corey, I feel like that's got to be the angle we take, because it's looking like trading back and getting some draft capital is going to be the right move. But we got to start selling it now on our end. Like, you know what? After today, Justin Fields, his pro day looked unreal. Man, we're going to need this guy. And just sell it.
Play the game. Like, don't be typical Lions. We could all sound like a broken record. Just tease it. Hey, you know what? We really like Justin Fields. We really love Trey Lance. Boy, if Zach Wilson somehow fell, he won't fall. Just talk out the side of your neck, and then still have in the back of your mind, this is who we're really gonna draft.
Yeah, this is a poker game. That's exactly what it is. This isn't trickery. You're not lying. This is a poker game. You're using your cards and letting them call your bluff. And hopefully you get them to pay you a little more than you would have, and you just told them what your plans were from the beginning.
Yeah, tease to Carolina. Hey, just letting you guys know.
Right.
Quarterback falls to us at 7. Don't matter who the QB is. We're taking them. So if you want this, what you want for it?
It's just crazy to me how Mac Jones has jumped so high on this list.
Didn't expect that.
Like, I wish we had a trend tracker for all the quarterbacks, because, Trevor Lawrence would be very top, right? All the way across the very top. Then you got like a Zach Wilson down here. All of a sudden shoots up, now dipping back down. Oh, up again. And then, then you got a Mac Jones who's all of a sudden down here. Then, boom! Number 3 pick overall, Mac Jones.
You look at who he's throwing to. You could put yourself out there throwing at Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, and all the other amazing receivers.
And turning around and handing it off to Najee Harris.
It's not that hard, right? It ain't that hard to look that good out there playing for Alabama. But obviously you got to be a good quarterback to get to Alabama.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, at least with Mac Jones, you're going off of tangible numbers where okay, when this guy plays with elite players and he plays in a good system, he's going to put up these numbers. Zach Wilson, question mark. Trey Lance, question mark. Like, you're drafting all of those guys based on potential only, not really on-field performance. And at least Mac Jones has the on-field performance in his pocket.
But it's like you look at Trey Lance. I mean, I'm sure that he did not have any crazy stars at North Dakota State that he was throwing to compared to a Mac Jones.
But also, who were they going up against, though, too? Mac Jones is in the SEC going up against
the hardest defenses in the country.
Exactly. So as much as you want to give him the benefit of playing with great talent, he also has the detriment of playing against great talent every single game.
True.
Like, I could probably light up New Mexico Southeastern Tech of A&M,
Listen, I want to rip on you, but you're probably right.
Right. So, I don't know. Obviously, that's where we're at in the draft, and that's what makes the draft so awesome, is you can go off potential, or you can go off what you've seen. And that's where these scouts get paid a lot of money, because the scouts that can pick out potential, they do their team a big service.
And it's crazy with this draft. I feel like there's been so many Mac Jones type situations where these just players coming out of nowhere to become all of a sudden a top quarterback in the draft. And one that we all agree on is obviously the Trevor Lawrence. But beyond that, it's like, where are these people coming from?
Right.
Yeah, I didn't even think was Mac Jones even a top 10 prospect last week?
Hell no.
No, like the earliest I saw him going in any mock draft before I saw him going to 3 to San Francisco is, I believe it was 16 to the Patriots, which made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of a system quarterback, and that's where he
Belichick.
belongs. Yeah. But I guess Kyle Shanahan has fallen in love with him, and that's why San Francisco is on the board with them. And obviously San Francisco said they went after Deshaun Watson, didn't get him. They went after Stafford, didn't get him. And now Mac Jones is their dude.
Hey, can't get mad at him. I mean, sucks for Jimmy G.
Well, that's the thing. They were saying that this should bring out the best in Jimmy G and stuff like that. It's going to push him forward. It's like, dude, if you're drafting Mac Jones at 3, Jimmy G, short of winning a Super Bowl, you're moving on to the guy that you took number 3, right?
That's a load of crap. You're not drafting Mac Jones at 3 to push Jimmy G. You're drafting Mac Jones at 3 because you got Jimmy G's a bag of beans.
Yeah, to push Jimmy G out the door. That's I didn't understand that quote, but you got to play those politic talks. It can't be like, yeah, we don't really want him.
Or you could just say nothing and not insult the public.
That's true too. You could do that. So yeah, Dan Campbell always talking to the media, always good times. And NFL, the draft is coming up in April. I cannot believe we're so close to the draft. This time last year, it was quarantine, and all I was doing was researching for my fantasy football squad. And that's how I came across all these great players in the draft. And then the draft came and kind of repositioned where everybody goes in your dynasty league. Because, like, CEH is another guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
Last year, he was probably like the 5th or 6th ranked running back coming out of college. Gets drafted by Kansas City. All of a sudden, #1 prospect off of everybody's rookie draft board. Over DeAndre Swift, over Jonathan Taylor, who was a perennial, like he was going to be the guy, but then a CEH slid in because Kansas City took him in the 1st round. So you're going to see that with some quarterbacks, and then at the end of the season, you see DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, all elite. CEH, meh. Wound up probably where he was ranked to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, you got me there.
That's actually one thing is like running backs in this draft especially. You're not really hearing about too many crazy running backs.
No, you got Najee Harris, and you got the kid out of North Carolina, Williams, I believe.
Yeah.
And those are really the 2 best backs. I thought Chuba Hubbard would have, a little more heat behind him, but he should have came out last year, and I think he would have went higher this year. He kind of didn't do so much at Oklahoma State. So, yeah, there really aren't too many great running backs coming out this year for rookies. As far as, because that's what I've been doing my dynasty research.
Clemson's, I like Atnay too.
Yeah.
Do you think the running back position is being devalued a little bit more?
If you ask Joik Bell, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's just starting to trend, at least in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, they're interchangeable. And that's what we're finding out with running backs. You're seeing this is the culmination of letting the offense open up and becoming more of a spread offense, because you no longer need that bell cow back to go up the middle, pound the middle, pound the middle. You need guys that you could just get in space and then rotate them in and then keep those guys fresh, put them up against linebackers that have to be out there the whole time. And next thing you know, you've created your mismatch. So that's why they've become more interchangeable, because their roles have also expanded into more pass catching and pass blocking.
The game has changed.
The game has definitely changed. So thank you, Dan Campbell, for all of your comments. I'm looking forward to the NFL draft, and I'm still looking forward to everything that this Lions brass is doing. I don't think they've made a misstep so far, have you?
For me, they have not made a misstep, but just don't disappoint us in this draft. Don't go Lions and draft Patrick Surtain.
No, he's going at 10. That's locked in.
Cowboys locked in.
That is locked in. The bookends are Lawrence at 1, Surtain at 10. Everything else, who the hell knows?
Yeah, I mean, to that question, though, there's no disappointments. I'm sure for any Lions fans.
Right.
Like, there's nothing. I mean, one thing that you could say is I wish we would have kept or done something with our receiver core, but none of them even really wanted to be here. So we're at the current situation as to moving forward and seeing which receivers we could get in free agency or the draft especially.
That's what I was just going to say. And honestly, if they draft a top wide receiver in the draft, we're not any worse off than we were last year. Honestly, like losing Marvin Jones and Galladay is a hit. But what did we accomplish with them?
Right.
So that's where I'm at with those guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, like Marvin Jones was. I'm not gonna sit up here and say he was bad, but with everything that went on with him and this on the field and just in his personal life, I just think for him it was just time for a change of scenery.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was just all these guys are replaceable.
Yeah,
that's it. None of these guys are bad. They're just replaceable.
But I think that the one move that will be very telling moving forward and will actually benefit the Lions franchise is that they did not give Kenny Galladay the big deal. Like they tried to give him the big deal and he didn't want to come back. So I think that might be the blessing in disguise moving forward.
Yeah, well, it definitely saved us some cap space, which then we were able to restructure Goff's contract. Now we got about $15 million to spend instead of the big fat donut that we had to spend. So thank you, Jared Goff, already making team moves, and we appreciate you. We also appreciate the people at Grow Green. Go to growgreenmi.com today and make sure you take advantage of all of their dank deals that they have. They have everything that you need to start a grow room or to keep your grow room growing and getting bigger and better than ever. Make sure you check out their light selection. It's the biggest in town, and they are in Whitmore Lake, but they will ship to you anywhere, flat rate shipping anywhere in Michigan for $50. So no matter how big your order is, you need a Mack truck to bring it, $50 to get it there. You had a small order, but you need it to get there in a hurry, $50 to get there. So that is the people you need to use, growgreenmi.com. Make sure you hit them up today. And when we get back, we're going to talk about opening day, baby. We're 2 days away.
You don't fumble the ball at work. Hey, Drake Bell, Sean Baligian. See you guys next weekend.
Thanks, Mike.
Oh, Bell's soft. Wait till it comes to New Zealand.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, up here with Corey and Joey, and we're all going to be downtown on Thursday. You guys looking forward to this?
Oh, yeah. So how does this work? Do I come here then go downtown? Do I go straight
No, we're
down?
meeting downtown, man.
Yes.
Well, at that early, we're not going to expect it to be here at 4 in the morning, Corey.
Hey, you know what?
We could have just messed with Corey, man.
I had to ask. I just had to ask.
Damn it, I missed an opportunity.
So 3:15
so
for the
meet here at
meetup.
4 a.m.
All right. Yeah. I'll be the only one out here just out like, hey, that's it.
No, we'll be doing our normal show from 8 to 10 live from the Brass Rail. That is downtown Detroit, literally right across from Comerica Park. It's a great spot to be at if you've never been down there. It's going to be a fun day. Not only are we broadcasting live, but Baligian and Bell will be on from 11 to 1. And then, of course, The Hook, Darren McCarty. And it's Darren McCarty's birthday on that day. So it's almost Darren McCarty's birthday party, we can call it.
We should bring him a cake. We'll celebrate with pizza. We'll just put a candle right in the middle of the pizza.
A pizza pie. You know who's happy about this?
Maz.
Maz's like, you got us at a pizza bar? He's so happy.
He got pissed at you last week, though, because you were ripping on him for always having pizza in the studio.
So wait a minute. We got opening day.
Yep.
At a pizza spot. Darren McCarty's birthday.
Yes, sir.
And April Fool's.
Oh,
jeez.
This is about to be an interesting day.
Dude, we could have got Corey on the April Fool's so easily with that one.
Damn it, Joey.
Damn it. I'm going to have to try and get you now.
Good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. Yeah, so honestly, let's throw a pizza party for D-Mac's birthday at opening day.
Hosted by Maz.
Hosted by Maz. Yep. And so we're going to be at the Brass Rail. And if anybody's downtown, make sure you stop by. Check us out. We got some giveaways to do. We got some awesome T-shirts that we have designed specifically for this opening day. And I'm just looking forward to it. I know there's some weird restrictions this year. No tailgating, things like that. But I don't think you could take the party out of Detroit.
And that's the thing. It's like, I get it. We're at about 8,200 fans allowed to be in Comerica Park. I'm thankful for that, truthfully. That's still a better number than I even anticipated. But it's about the no tailgating. You know, it's like, that sucks. But that's what we got. So let's make the best of it. There's 100 people allowed per bar. Let's make the best of it. Let's fill every single bar to the max capacity, because these business owners, they need it to stay alive. And that's where Detroit comes together, is really by standing strong and helping these businesses out, because there's so many bars that I'm seeing close down that I'm just like, no, we can't keep having this happen.
Right.
I'm just pissed at the no tailgate. Like that. Some of my favorite times of opening day is just walking around the different tailgates and meeting different people, sharing a brew, taking pictures of people, having the time of their life, just be on a work day.
Yep.
Just. Yeah, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. I'm happy that there's going to be some type of opening day, but man, the no tailgates is just a kick in the nuts.
Yeah, we're not going to let that stop the party, though, man.
Yeah.
Brass Rail is the spot you need to be at. They're going to have a live DJ there, and bartenders that are all this is cool. They all agreed to wear Woodward sports shirts. So we're taking that over. We got a huge LED screen that we're putting in. Like, we're doing it up for opening day. Yeah. And, yeah, Joey's making sure the internet's all good, because that's really our biggest concern right now, is the internet and making sure we get out there to everybody. But either way, I just want to be down in the city. I want to feel that energy again. Even though it's not going to be like 1 million people like it normally is, it's still opening day in Detroit.
And listen, I get that they say no tailgating, but could you at least be walking the streets with a beer in your hand?
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, like, roadies are legal now. Like, they made drinking in public legal during COVID. So, you know, you can just pop in a bar, grab a beer, and walk around the city. And that's not technically tailgating, is it?
No, I mean, that's just keeping yourself warm with a drink in your hand, walking around the city trying to see what's going on.
Right, just checking out the scenery.
Right.
That's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully, you know, hopefully I can get that backpack in enough time. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
The backpack, the one with the little
camelback.
Camelback. Yeah, I'm about to have that loaded up with some jungle juice.
There's someone in the chat saying people just need to protest and all go down and tailgate. I'll tell you who would love that. Boulevard and Trumbull towing. That's who would love that. Boulevard and Trumbull
cleaning up.
They would clean out. Like, have you ever seen them downtown Detroit whenever there's like a whole row of cars parked illegally? There's like 15 Boulevard and Trumbull trucks just taking them all to Southwest.
Man, they out there doing that Johnny Manziel money dance like.
Oh, man. And they're really like the only tow truck place in Detroit, too. So they get all the business. So be careful where you're parking, obviously. And, yeah, hopefully the health department isn't down there cracking down too hard on everybody that's having a good time.
They're saying they will be, though.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, don't let that scare you. Just Uber down there.
Have you ever gotten your car towed during a game?
I've never had it towed ever.
No.
You've never had your car towed?
Never. I get lucky, too, because I park so illegally sometimes.
How did you get your car towed, Corey?
Michigan, you know what? Okay,
Ann Arbor, you're saying?
I had to say that at Michigan, at University of Michigan. I gotta say this: stadium towing are a bunch of crooks. They tow you for any little infraction. You can be parked just maybe a centimeter over, taking your car.
How much did you have to pay?
Well, first time I had to pay like $250 to $275 to get my car out. The second time, I came out as he was jacking my car up, and I had to pay him $100 to put it down.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, I literally just went across the street back just to get my wallet, and in that like 5 minutes, he came and hooked my car up and jacked it up. I had to give him $100 to put it down.
Could we talk about this? Who's the biggest assholes? Is it the parking enforcers or is it the tow truck drivers? Because I've been around friends that have been in that situation where they see their car getting towed, and I'm one of the biggest schmoozers there is, and I can't even convince them to put that car back down no matter how much money you give.
Once it's jacked up, you got to give them something to get it down.
They won't even take money for that sometimes. So I feel like those are just the biggest a-holes out there.
One of my best friends, a tow truck driver, and he's the nicest guy that I know. And
except when it comes to business.
Yeah, honestly, tow truck drivers have rough jobs, man. Like, the shit that tow truck drivers see is insane. And he always tells me, he's like, whenever you see me, you're having a bad day. So nobody's excited to see a tow truck driver ever.
But you know that. That's like a cop. Every time you pull someone over, they're not going to be like, oh,
I get that. But it doesn't change the fact that he's still a good guy just trying to do his job.
I understand tow truck drivers have a job, so even though I've had some bad experiences, I'm not all the way too mad at them. But those freaking meter maids, oh, those guys can kick rocks.
Especially the Birmingham one. That dude's a freaking mall cop rolling around with that little...
Don't say that, man. Like, he's a great human being, and I hope he never gives us a ticket.
Screw that.
We're parked illegally every day out there.
Screw him in his beige 80s bad boy shorts.
But I mean, if you're gonna get mad at somebody, you got to get mad at the parking cop. You can't get mad at the tow truck driver. The parking cop's the snitch.
Yeah,
the tow truck driver's just a repo.
I hate those parking. You don't get me started on them.
Do you ever watch that show that's on TV, the Detroit Parking Wars or whatever?
No. Yep. One of my boys was on it.
Dude, we saw the dude the other day, the ponytail guy.
Yep.
We saw him the other day at American Coney Island, out there writing tickets.
Okay, I got one for you. Would you rather have your car towed or a boot?
Oof.
Yeah, that boot, I wouldn't know what to do. You get back there and you see the boot, I would not even know how to react. I'd be so pissed.
I've seen people try to drive with them and just really mess up their shit. Have you ever seen that?
Not seen it, but
oh my God, it's like and it's ripping everything. It's
I feel you though for trying.
Yeah. Hey man, if you're pot committed that far, go for it. Just ride it out with that boot on your car.
You know the life hack that Stick taught me actually, normal opening days, because this year opening day, I'm sure it's going to be easy to park, but you just go there, park illegally, and just pay that parking ticket because it's cheaper than normal parking at opening day.
That, and there's another hack because everything, you can pay on your app to park, but they only let you pay once. So, like,
I know what you're going to say. I got busted for this.
Oh, did you?
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say, have like 3 of your friends download the app, register the same car, and then, set a timer. Hey, Corey, you mind paying for parking in 10 minutes? Cool. Corey pays for parking. Now we got another 2 hours. And once that's done, Joey, you got this one? Cool. And then it can go back to yours.
That's a good life hack. That's not what I was thinking. I thought you were going to say, when you get the parking ticket, you got the envelope?
Oh, yeah.
Just leave that envelope. But I got caught one time with that. So I can't do that no more.
You were using the envelope at other locations?
Yep.
Yep.
Like, once you get busted, like, I just kept it in my car at all times, and then I just, all right, put this in here. But I still pay. But it's just, you pay for like an hour or 2 hours, like the max.
Right.
Then it's like, all right, I don't want to go back and check my car, so I just...
Yeah, one time I used an envelope for like 3 weeks in Royal Oak and just parking everywhere and throwing that envelope right on there. Then I didn't get a secondary ticket.
That's the worst.
Royal Oak?
The Royal Oak.
Yeah.
That dude got his Segway just cruising around there.
He covers a lot of ground.
They're always fat, too. No offense if you're a parking enforcer.
Yeah, except we just called them idiots, fat, making fun of the wardrobe. But no offense.
No offense. I hate you. You guys are all assholes. But I'm sure you're nice people outside of your job. It's just, it's with the job that you do. Sorry.
Yeah.
You
so
chose that
opening
life.
day, we'll be at the Brass Rail. Hopefully we can see you down there. If not, make sure you're watching all the live broadcasts and checking in because we're going to have like a crowd cam and everything. So you can experience the party even if you're not there. And coming up next, we got to look at Joey's news. You ready, Joey?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're inside Grove Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grove Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Good morning.
morning, everyone.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Let's get into Joey's news.
Let's go.
March Madness is going on, and sad that it's slowly coming to an end, but we got to shout out Houston and Baylor, both advancing to the Final Four. And for Baylor, this is their first Final Four in 71 years. It's amazing right there. Houston is the first team to play 4 double-digit seeded teams in a tournament. Let's talk about an easy road to the Final Four for that team.
Isn't that awesome, though? I mean, if you're going to do it, why not?
I mean, I do like that because that just means obviously there was a whole bunch of upsets that got them to that point besides obviously the first 16 team that they played.
Right.
But that's just crazy to me. But we keep it on Baylor as the subject. Baylor women's basketball squad, their season came to an end after a controversial no call on this play right here where there was a lot of NBA players coming out, including LeBron, saying that should have been a foul right there.
Clean block.
So that is DeJohn Carrington trying to tie the game right there. Foul or no foul? You really think it's a clean block?
You know, like I said earlier, I didn't watch the game, but from my understanding, they were letting those types of calls go the entire game. And she does get a piece of the ball there.
She does. It's just the body. When you put those hands up, like that's the biggest cop-out in basketball. You could put those hands up, and then you're not going to get called for a foul. But when you're not set and your feet are moving, that is drawing contact on that play. That DeJohn should have got that foul.
I feel like either way we could have had the debate on that call. Like at the end of the game, if they called that and it been like, oh, should that have been a foul? Did they bail her out to get the game into overtime, or didn't they? So I don't know. I really would have to watch the whole game to know the consistency of the calls.
In real time, it's either way. It's a foul when you look back at the tape. It's definitely a foul, but in real time, I can understand the ref not making that call depending on how, based on how the game was called. But again, you know what, Baylor? It's a bad call, but you know what? You kind of go on that run and get back in the game, so you really should not have been in that position to get screwed.
Yeah, you should never let the game get to a point where the referees could control the outcome.
Right.
And they let that happen.
Right.
Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight because UCLA taking on Michigan. We just need Michigan to give them an ass whooping, so that's the later of the games at 9:57. And then just before that, number 6 USC taking on number 1 Gonzaga.
Bye-bye, Zags.
You're calling that, huh?
I'm calling it right now. Bye. I'm going to say, I think it's going to be a 3-point win. About 3.
Okay.
Now, they're not going to take that back. They're not going to hit a 3-pointer to win. They're just going to win by 3.
Okay.
What's the spread on that game? Do we know?
I can look it up while
sure,
you're doing your next
do that.
news.
I'm sure Gonzaga's favored by a lot because
yeah.
that team's just been killing it. But the last one I got is the Detroit Pistons won by 14 points over the Toronto Raptors, and the Pistons, got to give it up for them, shooting 51% from the field. And that guy right there, Hamidou Diallo, 19 points, 10 rebounds off of the bench. And this is a guy, Corey, that I know you're happy about because we got him for a steal.
Got him for some Faygo Red and some Better Made chips. So shout out to Troy Weaver. He didn't have to give up much to get him.
It's Trade Weaver in your books.
Trade Weaver.
So I'm looking here, USC versus Gonzaga. Gonzaga is -8.5, over under 153.5. So they're expecting a high-scoring game here.
Yeah, I mean, Gonzaga has been putting up some points this season.
Yep. So do you got them winning by more than 8.5?
I want them to win because I'm confident Michigan will win, and I want Michigan to give that ass whooping to the undefeated Gonzaga.
That's right.
That's what I want. I'm really looking down the road on this one.
Nice.
I also want you to look down the road all the way there to downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange because that is just the go-to spot. You see me rocking this Carhartt, Bridge Street Exchange. They got all of the Carhartt gear you could ever imagine. And just go support a locally owned business. And they got a ton of Michigan brands. If you didn't know, Carhartt, Detroit brand right there in himself. So check them out right now, bridgestreetexchange.com. If you shop online or in-store, you get 15% off by using the code word WSN. Go in person, just tell them Woodward Sports sent you, and have fun shopping there because it's a lot more fun there than it is a mall.
Is it? I really got to
hate
go
malls.
out there, man. It looks like you had a lot of fun when you were recording all those commercials and stuff for them.
Yeah, like you could go over here and get your beard right because they got a whole bunch of products. You could go over here and get some Carhartt gear. Go over there and get you some boots, although the weather is starting to warm up. They just got so many Michigan brands. And, I mean, you like drinking. They got barware in the back room.
I do like drinking.
So they got a little bit of everything in there, and that's what I love.
Guilty.
I'm gonna go ahead there because Terry said it was pretty dope too. So Terry, hearing so many good things about him.
Yep.
So make sure you check them out, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the NBA draft is set, and we'll tell you when it is and where it is next.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show on the Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital sports network. My name is Stick, and last year we had a little NBA draft party right here inside the studio because the draft was held so awkwardly late in the year. But this year, NBA kind of back on track. June 22nd, 8:30 p.m. is when the NBA draft is going to be. So, honestly...
Well, the draft lottery.
Yeah, the lottery. Yeah. So, honestly, we're not that far from it.
Yeah, it's that's about to come up so quick.
Yes.
Cade Cunningham, he's been all the talk these last couple of weeks.
That is who I want. That's definitely who I want. But
that's obviously,
the thing, though. You look at everybody wants him.
He's going to be number one.
You think so?
It ain't going to be no bullshit like there is in the NFL going on right now of players jumping up out of nowhere. Like Cade Cunningham, he's got to be number one. He's been all the talk these last couple of months, and the dude's just a great ball player. It sucks because didn't see much in the last couple weeks over him, obviously, but that's a good ball player.
I just hope that if the Pistons get the number one pick, Troy Weaver doesn't go Joe Dumars and do something like, Cade Cunningham right there. But that Mike Smith guy played really good in the tournament. Let's grab him.
I mean, come on.
I mean, I know I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying, it's been the PTSD for Lions fans and Pistons fans are there when it comes to the draft of the wrong guy being taken.
So far this year, from what Troy Weaver drafted last year, what grade are you giving our rookies?
Oh, I'm giving them a B+.
A B+.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
It would probably be a little bit higher if Killian Hayes, we saw him playing, but I mean, Beef Stew, even Saban Lee, Sadiq Bey was, I think, still the steal of the draft. I gotta give him a B+ for that.
If Killian Hayes comes back and starts performing well, or even if we back it up a little bit, if Killian Hayes started balling out and performing well from the beginning,
right,
this would have been such a freaking perfect draft.
Yeah.
Perfect draft. But what sucks is you look at all these other players performing well that we could have got instead of Killian Hayes, and an unfortunate injury, and even before that injury, we didn't see too much from him. And
Right.
you saw the other rookies. It took a little bit of time for them to really start doing well, and now we're obviously seeing some great success from them.
This is one of those things where Stick is probably just grinning because I just imagine if it was with Tyrese Halliburton, then the rest of those guys. Oh man, what we would be seeing right now. So Killian has to pan out.
I just had my eyes closed dreaming of it. Like, oh my God. Because Halliburton, he was my favorite player coming out, and he was who I wanted the Pistons to pick. And obviously, he was sitting there when we were able to draft him because he went at 12. He would be like, it would be amazing to see what this team would look like right now and how geeked we would be for what this team would become.
Man.
Having a Tyrese Halliburton as our starting point guard, and then finding out, holy hell, our other picks are pretty damn good too. So that's why, like, yes, I trust in Troy Weaver and I trust that process. But because of Killian Hayes right now, I got to give them maybe like a B- on last year's draft.
That's fair.
Because I'm balancing it out. Like, you know, Sadiq Bey, Beef Stew, both A's. But your number 7 overall pick, which should have been the most impactful player, not even close to where he's probably bringing you down to about a C, C minus. So you balance all those out, and that's why I have them there. But that being said, I don't see Troy Weaver fumbling this pick.
No sophomore fumble?
No, I don't. Especially if we get the number 1 overall pick, I don't see him going astray. And even if he does, I'll probably give him the benefit of the doubt at this point.
I mean, truthfully, like, you can't do any better than he did in this draft this year. I mean,
you can.
You could by saying, all right, let's take Halliburton, but I guarantee you it would have been different outcomes, though. You can't look back now after seeing the way Tyrese has been playing this season and say, if he took him, it would have worked out. You just can't.
I think you can.
His game translates, bro.
It translates, but it's like I have a hard time personally just saying, all right, if we would have got him, it would have worked out exactly how he's playing for the Kings.
Yeah, definitely. Opportunities would be different. Systems are different. All of that is different. So we wouldn't maybe get the exact performance, but you're looking at that as a negative way. We could have gotten an even better performance, too. So he is what he is, and that we've seen that he is a solid NBA player, and if it wasn't for Ball, he would probably be up for Rookie of the Year. But at the same time, we have Killian Hayes. I have no doubts that Killian Hayes, once healthy, will be able to come in and be a contributor. And I hope the leader that Halliburton has proven he's already been in Sacramento.
I don't even know if I'm confident in him really like that.
Killian?
I don't know. I mean,
he's so young, man.
He's so young. And he's translating to the American ball, but it's just from what we saw in the beginning, like there was a lot of choking from him.
Well, hopefully, in these next couple of weeks, we're able to see see him return. They said he's been ramping up, getting more reps in, doing full contact. So hopefully we'll be able to see him before the season ends, because I think it would just leave a bad taste in the Pistons fans' mouth that he doesn't return, and we're just hearing about him getting better.
Right. Well, it'll almost be like Sekou last year.
Yeah.
Like you just kept hearing, oh, this guy's improving in our mini bubble. Oh, he's getting better. And then come the season and...
Where is he?
Yes. And
Sekou, hell happened to Sekou?
Yeah, Sekou. That's all Sekou's fault. We thought that because he was hanging out with Kevin Durant with that one picture. Oh, crap. Sekou's about to come this year.
Right. Nope. Mm-hmm. No, he did get bigger, which I was like, oh, he's putting on some weight. He'll have a better season. And it's just hasn't been there for Sekou this year. But with that being said, the draft lottery is taking place June 22nd. The Pistons right now have the second worst record in the league.
Now's when you could clap about that. Now's when we could clap.
Can we?
It's crazy because I was looking, obviously knew we were going to talk about this, and I was looking at the NBA draft prospects, and our boy Franz Wagner is pretty high up on this draft board.
I don't want him.
But I'm saying, like, I'm surprised that he's like top 10 that they're projecting.
Yeah, he's got the all-around game. That's the thing. What up, Fish?
I'm sure you guys all know this, but just for anyone else out there, the NBA does a draft lottery, meaning that's no guarantee if you finish last, you're going to get the number 1 pick.
Correct. Yep. They do the draft lottery, and they've kind of adjusted it to this year where the odds are a little bit flatter, similar to what the NHL did. And so the Pistons are statistically, right now as they sit, more likely to pick 5th overall than any other position. And wouldn't that just be typical, like NBA handed us lemons for the Pistons fans? Like, we finished the season second to last, but we get the 5th pick. Because I thought we should have had a better pick this past year, too, but we got screwed with the 7.
What's your thoughts on that, though? Do you like the NBA draft lottery style, or do you like the NFL draft style?
I like the NFL.
You do? I like it, but then I think, all right, well, what about teams tanking the season? You're not rewarded for that.
They're already doing it. I mean, teams tank anyway, so who cares? You know, and honestly, what percentage of teams are really going to tank every year?
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 teams in each league would try to tank.
Man, NBA don't care about no tanking. The draft lottery is just another way for the NBA to get some more ratings.
Yep.
That's it. They don't care.
I love the draft lottery.
I do love it.
If it did better for us, I'd love it even more.
Yeah, the one year that we really won the draft lottery, we screwed up the draft pick because if you remember, the Otis Thorpe trade was a conditional pick, and if it would have been the number 1 overall, Memphis still would have gotten their pick. We got the number 2 overall, missing out on LeBron, but at the same time, we could have taken any of those players. But sometimes the lottery gets you, and it gives you what you want, and you can fumble the bag from there. That's really what when everybody yells about tanking and how you need a high draft pick and that's the only way to rebuild, I just shake my head at them because it really, very little on where you're drafting, majority on who you're drafting.
I mean, we can get the number 1 pick. We can get the number 7 pick. If you fumble the pick, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, like that. So outside of the Darko move, there are so many players that the Pistons have passed over. But again, let's just give Troy Weaver the benefit of the doubt. Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, we didn't need any of those guys.
No.
No, we definitely needed Luke Kennard. Sorry, Joey. I know he's your boy.
That's all good.
Do you ever talk to him anymore?
Yeah, once in a while.
Yeah? How's he doing?
He's actually been playing pretty well over there. Yeah, I mean, not like balling out, but
yeah.
I mean.
No, I don't expect Luke Kennard to ever ball out. But,
right. But I mean, living out there is a little bit better than living out here in Detroit. As
is he liking
lifestyle, he's liking it.
He's liking it?
I mean, starting in Detroit and you're not going to make the playoffs, or coming off the bench for the Clippers and then you're in L.A.
Yeah, I mean, the situation's a lot better, but at the same time, I'd still rather have Donovan Mitchell. And that's what it all boils down to, is just what the Pistons could have had if they didn't draft Luke Kennard. So, yeah, NBA draft lottery set June 22nd. We'll see how that plays out, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, like, the standard draft this year and everything being back to normal.
I am, too. I'm excited. Can't wait. Hopefully they let people come to the draft.
Yep.
We'll see.
Corey's trying to be there.
And one thing that is not normal, levels. EnjoyLevels.com. You need to check that out and follow them on Instagram at EnjoyLevels. It's a brand new dispensary that is opening up next month. It is going to be in Ferndale, and you're absolutely going to love this place. It's beautiful inside. Literally looks like a jewelry store. Every time we show people pictures of the inside of it, that's what they tell us. Like, are you guys at a jewelry? Like, what is that place? No, that's a dispensary, and that's the way they all should look, because the customer service and the cleanliness is probably the most important thing you want to experience when you go to one of those places. So Enjoy Levels. Make sure you're following them. Instagram. Hit up their website. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them coming up soon. And also coming up next, Fish's Facts.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Is it time?
Yeah, it is. Fish!
Go fish.
Fish Facts.
It's fish!
It is now time for Fish Facts with my man Fish. He likes to stay over there in his little producer land now. You don't like coming up on stage, or are you just happy there?
No, I was seeing any movement up there. Didn't see any movement, so I stayed in here. I try to be flexible.
You are flexible, Fish, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate you here at Woodward Sports.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, you're the man. Let's get into some fun facts. Go ahead, buddy.
All right, so yesterday I was scrolling through and saw that the Buffalo Sabres, who we talked about yesterday, were winning 3-0.
Nice.
They were doing great. And then the third period comes along, and we have a fact about the Buffalo Sabres, who ended up conceding 3 goals and then lost in overtime 4-3. So they have the NHL's longest winless streak in the 21st century.
Wow.
18 games.
You know what? I'm happy that Detroit's not anywhere on that list.
Pittsburgh's on there twice.
Yeah, that makes me happy too.
Hell yeah.
So they tied it, and we'll see if they can go to 19.
Yeah, the funny part about them blowing that lead last night is, like, if you do live in-game betting, they were plus 3,500 to lose the game at that point, and if you would have taken them, they ended up obviously winning the game, and the Bruins blew the 3-goal lead. But in-game betting, man, have fun with it, because sometimes those 3-game goals or the 3-goal games can come back.
That's 2 games in a row they blew leads on Saturday, and then yesterday they blew a 3-goal lead.
Damn.
That's
not a good team.
No. Sucks to be them. We go to basketball. James Harden did some numbers again. He got 38 points last night, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. It is the 12th triple-double this season, tying a Nets franchise record.
I feel like every day you're coming out with James Harden triple-double stats.
But it just shocks me how good he is on the Nets.
Yeah, no, he's put up 12 of them, so they're happening.
He didn't do that for the Rockets.
No, a little different offense, but yeah, he's doing great for the Nets.
Now we'll see if he can do it in the playoffs.
Yes, that's the key.
Very
Can they
worried
play
about
defense?
Hopefully. Jazz. They're top 3 in both offense and defense.
Beautiful.
Only 6 other teams have done that in the three-point era. Warriors, Bulls, Sonics, Blazers, and Celtics. Only one team without a trophy next to the name. That's the Sonics.
And the Blazers.
Oh, good call. And the Blazers.
About 4 out of the 6 teams who've done that have won the championship that year. So,
yeah.
So do you really think that the Jazz are going to win the championship this year?
Now that they're right now, I think they'll be a good shot, though. I like them.
I like the Jazz.
Them and the Suns are dark horses.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Oklahoma City Thunder used to be Seattle Supersonics.
Yes, they did. And Seattle's trying to get another basketball team again right now.
They are. They got a hockey team coming up this fall.
Yeah, the Kraken.
You like that name?
I do like that name. I thought it was fun. You know, it's Seattle. It's sea-oriented and the Kraken.
Yeah.
Cool
today is... I got to look. I didn't think I had to. March 30th. We have on this day in history, 2001, Michael Phelps, a swimmer. 15 years and 9 months, broke the 200-meter butterfly world record. And, of course, he won, 18 gold medals?
Yeah, he's the most decorated U.S. Olympian of all time.
It's been looking good since that.
And he still takes rips off the bong. Goat. Goat.
We got a birthday today.
Don't tell me champions don't smoke. Go ahead.
We got a birthday.
Uh-huh.
Richard Sherman.
Ooh.
1988. So happy birthday to him. I like him. He's pretty good.
Straight out of Compton, baby.
Is that where he's from?
Compton, California, yep.
Yeah, born in Compton, California.
That's right.
Yeah. And then we have, that's it. Those are all the facts.
All right.
No wedding today, Fish?
No, there was no wedding, and this is going to sound mean, but there was no interesting death.
Okay.
So,
no
interesting death.
There is one more local birthday.
Who you got?
Lomas Brown.
Hey,
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lomas. All right, well, let's do it. It's now time for Joey's Dumbass of the Day.
To present the award,
it is Joey.
It is time. Dumbass
For the day.
Why would you do that? And the loser is...
So, for the Dumbass of the Day today, let me just actually close. I'm gonna close my tablet because I don't even need this. I'm gonna just pass this one over to our very own Corey Woods. Who is our Dumbass of the Day, guys? You made it, Corey.
You know, I am honored to make this. So let's just get this out the way. For those,
Wait.
Oh God.
Wait. Before we get to this story, can we tell the story about your last concussion real quick? Because they go together.
We don't want to make fun of Corey, but he is concussion prone.
Concussion prone. I'm in concussion protocol right now. So the last concussion I had was in 2014. I was putting some salt on my grandma's walkway to prevent her and my aunt from falling. Then what happens? I slip up and fall like one of those cartoon banana peel falls. I literally had that fall. That's exactly how it was. So, doctor said you got to watch out for that. Yeah, I didn't watch out for it. So this past Saturday, I got another concussion. Here's how it happened, though.
See, this is the thing, though, really quick to interrupt you. You're a good person. First time, helping grandma out. The second time?
The second time, I don't know if you're religious people, you may get a kick out of this one. So, on Saturdays, I just started, once we figured out the schedule of Woodward Sports, I started to say, hey, I'm gonna volunteer at the church, join the church production team, and help out. So Saturday, I went to go take some pictures for my pastor. So as I'm going in and out of church, loading my camera equipment into the church, they're getting some maintenance done. One of the maintenance man has the pickup truck outside, and the lumber is sticking outside of the back of the pickup truck. So I'm on my phone getting the stuff out of after I loaded my car, took stuff in my car, looking on my phone, and just scrolling on Instagram, and one of my friends, she's has her own clothing line, and one of her pictures was provocative to say the least.
Hell no.
Yes,
Okay.
As I'm walking and looking at this, that walked smack dab into the lumber, and it nicked the side of my head, and I'm like, what the F just happened?
So her booty caused you to do that?
At church.
Actually, yes.
At church.
As I'm outside the church, so I grab my head and I pull it back, and I have follicles in my hand. So I'm like, what's going on? So as I start walking into the church kind of wobbly, a gust of wind just came by. I'm like, wait a minute. Why does it feel like something's open here? I go inside the bathroom, blood's trickling down the side of my head, and I go back and go look at the wood. More of my hair still stuck in the wood.
Oh, my God.
Lost a patch of his hair on the wood.
So as I'm talking, with my friend yesterday before we did Baligian and Bell, she said, you have to tell the story. It's such great content. Because she's like, just imagine if you would have passed out outside of church and they looked on your phone and it's just
a booty pic. Is that pic public? Can we see it?
It's public, but I don't want to put her business out, but I'll show you guys the picture.
We're just trying to show everybody.
No, I don't want to put her on blast because I talked to her.
Her face.
She's a businesswoman, Corey.
Me and her got a good laugh out of it, and she felt a little. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you can cuss yourself off of it, though." Like,
all
hey,
right, so you got the good laugh. Let us get the good look. Come on.
So I mean, is she gonna make that up to you? What's going on?
It's
her fault, clearly.
Hey, listen, all I'm saying, if Corey had this embarrassing moment happen and then he actually told her, Corey looking for some sympathy, little pity.
No, we're real good friends. She was like, hey, we at least got to hang out after
That's
that
what they
one.
all say.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you got to hang out.
That's what they all say.
Because now she knows that her ass is that distracting to you that you will damn near kill yourself
and I
for
told her that. I said, look, at least you got bragging rights now. You can say that you're so bad that you made a dude walk into lumber and almost knock himself out.
Walk into lumber.
That's my favorite. Not wood, lumber.
So for that, Corey is our dumbass of the day today. Dumbass.
Unless the picture's really that good, then we can let you slide.
We'll be the judge after this. Thank you guys for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show. Don't forget, opening day, we'll be down at the Brass Rail right downtown. Make sure you come say hi. Baligian and Bell is up next. Corey filling in once again. And then everything will be back to normal here by the end of the week. So thank you guys for enjoying Woodward Sports. Have a great Tuesday.